Hi there, my name is Flo, and in this video I want to talk to you about the newest developments at Mercedes-Benz and its parent, the Daimler AG. But first I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. It is much appreciated and it helps the channel a lot. Let's start. Some days ago, CEO Ola Källenius presented the financial numbers for 2019, and there are several shocking statements. Here are two examples. First, a 64% drop in full-year profits to 2.7 billion euros, from 7.6 billion euros the year before. According to Daimler, the main reasons for this drop are the following: governmental and legal proceedings, as well as measures linked to the diesel emissions scandal, costs for the replacement of Takata airbags, costs for stopping the production of the X-Class, the decision to stop offering their car-sharing services in US cities, and finally, the step to work together with BMW in the car-sharing business. Some analysts said that the development cost of the EQC and future electric cars, as well as problems with the EQC production, are also responsible for these numbers. Secondly, the return on sales for the Daimler Group dropped from 6.9% in 2018 to just 1.5% in 2019. This is quite shocking because it means, simplified, that for 100 euros the company gets from the customer net, which means after taxes, Daimler just earns 1.5 euros. In the end, it means the Daimler Group produces too expensive. Producing expensive high-end solutions is part of the DNA of the Daimler Group and especially Mercedes-Benz. But just 1.5% return on sales is just shocking low. But there are also other numbers which show that Daimler and Mercedes-Benz are not efficient enough compared to the competition. These numbers can explain why the Daimler Group is facing more and more problems. And these two weaknesses should have been addressed years ago. First, as you can see in my Excel sheet here, in 2019 the Daimler Group had around 300,000 employees. With these employees, the Daimler Group sold around 3.35 million cars and trucks. This means, again simplified, one employee produced 11.2 cars and trucks. Compare this to BMW and you can see that BMW managed to produce around 8 more cars and bikes per employee. So in this simplified example, BMW works more efficient than Daimler. Just for comparison, I added Toyota and Volkswagen to this list. You can see that Volkswagen is also in a worrisome efficiency situation compared to Toyota. And you can see that Toyota is way ahead of the three others. Secondly, you can also check, again simplified, how much revenue an employee of Mercedes-Benz and BMW brings the company. As you can see in my Excel sheet here, one employee brought in a revenue of around 580,000 euros. But an employee of BMW brought in around 720,000 euros. Getting Daimler on the same efficiency level as BMW, they would need to fire around 60,000 employees. There are experts who can dive much deeper in financial reports of companies and find more examples like the two above to get a better understanding of a company and its real performance. All in all, the numbers we see from Daimler and Mercedes-Benz are not good and not healthy. Of course, these two examples also work with financial reports from Daimler of the past years, as sales, revenue and employee count are more or less always on some comparable level. But it perhaps shows why Mercedes-Benz and its parent, the Daimler Group, are now the first of the traditional car manufacturer to present bad financial results. On top of that worrisome numbers and information, Mercedes-Benz plans aggressive material cost savings targets to achieve better financial results in the next years. Yes, they really said aggressive in the presentation. Decisions like this always worry me, because this kind of cost cutting almost always leads to lesser quality, and reputation damage because of quality issues is a major problem, just as Jaguar, Land Rover or Alfa Romeo. They needed to fight hard and still fight hard to get a better reputation in terms of product quality. Also, the dividend was reduced from 3.25 euros to 0.90 euros per share. This also shows that the Daimler Group needs to save money fast. Even their shareholders now feel the problems. There are examples of companies which did not reduce the dividend in the past, despite having also financial trouble. This is also an example that the situation seems serious. Also, the employees of the Daimler Group now get less bonus payment. Last year they did get 4,965 euros. Now they only get 1,097 euros. But it does not end here. There are rumors that Daimler wants not just lay off 10,000 employees as reported some weeks ago, but 15,000. Daimler plans to do this wherever possible with termination offers, early retirement offers and partial retirement. But surely not every layoff will be without personal problems for the employees. Also, there are rumors that Mercedes-Benz will stop offering a successor for the S-Class Coupe and the S-Class Cabriolet. Also, the B-Class could perhaps not become a successor. And finally, the CLS and AMG GT, which are already more or less the same car at its core, could be replaced by a comparable electric car. The CEO said that the profitability of every model will be checked. It will be interesting what model decisions we will see in the next months. And the worrisome rumors still do not stop there. There are rumors that Mercedes-Benz will offer less AMG models than today in Europe, because of the CO2 regulations of the European Union. This will help Mercedes-Benz avoiding paying fines for having too high CO2 numbers in its fleet. All in all, many of the problems Mercedes-Benz and the Daimler Group are facing now are sadly homegrown. Cheating on diesel emissions should have never happened. The X-Class was a failure from the get-go. I will get into this in a minute. The try and error mentality with the car-sharing adventure could have also been prevented. Producing too expensive should have been addressed years if not decades ago. Toyota is the benchmark for decades here, and even the smaller BMW group can do better. Having a big range of cars was always wondering me. Offering a car for every niche taste of the customers just makes everything expensive and complicated. Mercedes-Benz was one of the first companies to start offering more and more cars of more or less the same type. Remember the first generation CLS? A good-looking car, but in the end just a stylish E-Class. Now they realize that and start to shrink their portfolio. Mercedes-Benz also started too late in the electric car game and is now offering an underwhelming product. And the European CO2 regulations don't come as a surprise, but Mercedes-Benz seems surprised. And now perhaps they can't offer every AMG model in Europe anymore. This is a problem because AMGs are money printers. Mercedes-Benz earns good money with these cars and many customers spec their AMGs to the max. Losing or reducing these sales in Europe can have an impact on the overall financial performance of the Daimler Group. And remember, the CO2 regulations don't come as a surprise. Daimler could have countered this regulation well in advance. The easiest way would have been hybridization like Toyota and Lexus does, or more plug-in hybrids, or more electric cars. Some words on the X-Class, which is killed after just 2 years on the market. This is a remarkable decision, but for me personally not surprising. The X-Class was a in some points technically improved Nissan Navara. The Nissan is in no way a bad pickup. It's a competitive offer in its class, competing with pickups like the Toyota Hilux or the Ford Ranger. But in the end, the X-Class is not the kind of car and quality a typical Mercedes-Benz buyer expects. Also, I think not every Mercedes-Benz buyer can accept to just drive an improved Nissan. Badge engineering is risky for every car manufacturer, but it is especially risky for a premium manufacturer as their customers expect more. Mercedes-Benz should have had the courage to develop a high-quality pickup or just don't do it. A rebadged Nissan was the worst decision they could have done. And finally, to the Takata airbag costs that Daimler also mentions. This costs has almost every car manufacturer to pay, so for me Takata is no excuse for Daimler's bad financial situation. As a result, Mercedes-Benz and the Daimler Group are in full damage control now. The CEO said they are now on a turning point and the next 3 years will be tough. He said they will work around the clock to restore the group's financial health. Seeing Toyota doing just healthy every year, pushing further with Lexus. Seeing Hyundai Kia starting to attack aggressively with their premium brand Genesis. Seeing Tesla pushing hard with more and more models. Seeing Lincoln offering new attractive SUVs. Seeing the CO2 regulations of the European Union. Seeing Rivian with Amazon money in the background. And seeing Chinese premium manufacturers also starting to attack the established manufacturer in the next years, I see extremely tough times for Mercedes-Benz and the Daimler Group. It's not fighting against BMW, Lexus and Audi like 30 years ago. It's war on all fronts. If the management does not realize how dangerous the situation is right now, the inventor of the car could be bought by a Chinese real estate company like Saab. So that's it from me, and let me know what you think of the newest developments at Daimler and Mercedes-Benz. And please like, share, subscribe and also hit the notification bell as more videos are coming soon.